If you're watching this, then it is officially my 31st birthday, and that means I have spent my first year in my 30s, and I am ready to give you 7 lessons that I learned in my 20s, because you know they say it's either a blessing or a lesson. And I truly believe these lessons that I learned allowed me to sow and eventually reap the blessings that are now coming up in my 30s. Number 1, Maya Angelou was right. When someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. This lesson will save you so many heartbreaks, betrayals, and disappointments. This one is especially important for my highly empathetic friends. We always want to see the good in everyone, and sometimes that means ignoring when someone isn't really good for us. I highly encourage you to make peace with letting go of an unhealthy connection and try your best to avoid do-overs. And what I mean by this is there's nothing wrong with forgiveness and reconciliation, right? But I believe we find ourselves on a slippery slope when someone has truly hurt us and we've seen someone's true character, and then we choose to welcome them back into our life in the same exact capacity, giving them the same exact access as they once did before. Because a lot of times what you're doing is just opening yourself up to be a target of the very same abuse, neglect, and harm that you were in before. This doesn't mean people can't grow, but sometimes it's best to let people grow without you. I also want you to consider that each time you let go of someone that isn't necessarily good for you, you are now making room for someone who is. Number 2, and this might rub some people the wrong way, but it's something that I had to come to terms with via the relationships, friendships, work environments that I was in, and that is your value is your choice. That means you are as beautiful as you think you are as talented as you think you are, and you will be as successful as you believe you are. Your self-worth isn't connected to your job. It's not connected to how much money you make. It's not connected to how many followers, subscribers, likes and comments and engagement in general that you get on social media. It's not connected to the circles that you find yourself in. Whether you have it all or you have nothing, your life is still valuable. In fact, it's priceless. Imagine waking up every day and saying to yourself, I can do anything that I set my mind to, instead of I'm not as pretty as her and I can never do anything right. Treat yourself with the same love that you treat those around you that you truly value. Your social media faves, the influencers, the celebs, your loved ones. Give yourself that same energy and watch just how much your life flourishes because of it. Number 3, college hits you fast and it's over just as fast. At that time, you have virtually no responsibilities besides obviously getting work done and whatever other extracurriculars. If you're someone who works part-time, you have that. But for most college students, you don't have lots of bills to pay, you don't have children, hopefully you don't have a car note, you're not paying for a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, if you're under 26, you're still under your parents' insurance. So you don't have a lot of responsibilities that you have to consider when it comes to investing in yourself and investing in what you're passionate about. So this is the perfect time to invest in that business or whatever you want to learn or grow in. Instead of using all of your refund check on some clothes and shoes and whatever else you have your heart on, I highly encourage you to use a few hundred of that to invest in a business you want to start or invest in whatever else you may want to develop yourself in. And like me, 5, 6, 7 years down the line, imagine starting at that point where you could be now at 31. Number 4, don't force friendships. Friendships don't look the same when you leave college. And a huge part of that is because you graduate from college and you're now pulled out of this bubble that you were once in with your friends on campus. You guys move to different cities and states, you start new jobs, and it becomes harder and harder to maintain those friendships. So when you find yourself only having 2 or 3 or maybe even one solid friend, be appreciative of that. Your 2 to 3 or even one friend is just enough. Quality over quantity. Instead of holding on to unhealthy friendships that were really just convenient in school, nurture those friendships that really enrich you. I'm telling you, if it's just one friend, I promise you're doing just fine. Ooh, number 5. And this is a big one. I think all of these are really important, but this is a huge one, and it's something that I am seeing to this day. I'm still learning it. You know, I think it's just human nature with comparison. Number 5, don't believe everything you see. You'll be seeing someone closing a house at 21. Someone's landing that 6-figure job and living lavishly. There's that person getting tens of thousands of likes on social media. There's the fashionista who's always dressed down with a fresh faced beat and a new hairdo. And then there's also that woman who has the seemingly perfect relationship or marriage. What you don't see is someone who may have used another person's identity to get approved on the house, or the person that's constantly overworked and stressed out, or the person whose social media is the best part of their life. Let's not forget the maxed out credit cards and late rent payments just to maintain the look, or the person who's just absolutely miserable in their marriage. We don't see what people don't want us to see. And this is not to say that those who are living in these experiences got it by way of the examples that I used just now. But I'm using these points to simply say that everything that glitters isn't gold. And with everything in life, there is some sort of sacrifice that you have to make. And what we don't often think about is whether or not we would truly be willing to make the sacrifice to have what someone else has. I say all of this to say a lot of times things look prettier from the outside. Oftentimes social media makes it hard to appreciate what we have. We gain so much by being appreciative in what we do have. There's someone who's very well looking at you in your life and wishing they had it too. Number 6, we're all just figuring it out. That's one thing that as I stepped into adulthood, I realized. I thought, oh, once I turn 18 and I'm an adult, I'm just gonna be adulting. Wrong. I thought once I was in my 20s, like, oh yeah, like I'm really gonna have my stuff together. I'm gonna have money. I'm gonna have a job. I'm gonna graduate from college and I'm gonna be doing my thing. Not to say that those things didn't happen, but even as a 31-year-old woman, I still very much feel young and feel like I'm not a master at this thing called life. There was a TikTok actually where someone was joking about parenthood because I'm a mom, I'm a new mom, and the caption said something along the lines of, when people ask you for parenting advice and you're a 30-year-old teenager. Me, because baby, I may be 30, but even saying out loud that I have a baby is just like, I have a whole human being. I gave birth to a whole human being that I am fully responsible for. How? Whoo, child. But I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love parenthood. I love being a mom. But I do very much feel like a 30-year-old teenager. But anyway, like I said, we're all just figuring out this thing called life. And with each decade, you get the opportunity to learn even more. Which, just side note, I just find it crazy and a bit cringy when people try to use like age as an insult. Like, oh, you're old. Oh, you're washed. Like, for me personally, every single year that I get to live on this earth is a blessing. It's a flex. When I am 55 years old, it'll be a flex. When I'm 65, it'll be a flex. When I'm 75, it'll be an even bigger flex. Because I have lived, I have experienced all there is to experience in life, and I am grateful for that. I don't want to be someone who passes at a young age. I don't want to be someone who gets to the end of their life and feel like they haven't learned enough, gained all the wisdom, accomplished many things that they wanted to accomplish. So to me, with each year that I tack onto my life, can't nobody make me feel bad about my age, baby. I'm a 31-year-old hottie. Okay, I'm a 31-year-old mom. I'm a 31-year-old wife. I'm a 31-year-old entrepreneur. I'm a 31-year-old black woman who's college educated, who's loving, who's soft but opinionated, who's still learning, who has been through stuff, who's gotten their heart broken, who's done dumb shit, who's learned from that dumb shit, who's now raising someone to be the best person that they can be. I take so much pride in that. And if you are watching this and you are dreading your next year of life, please don't. Please understand that it is a blessing that not everyone gets. So don't take it for granted. But anyway, like I was saying, we're all just figuring it out. And even in my 30s, I am still figuring out so much. And life is really, about trial and error. So I say embrace uncertainty, because I feel like some of the best people in this world are those who embrace uncertainty because they don't let that impact them. I mean, to grow is to be uncomfortable, to be uncertain of what could be when you decide to veer off of the path of what you're used to. So I say embrace the uncertainty, but fall fast and learn from it and grow and just see how your life changes as a result. Also, failure is a prerequisite of success. So don't feel bad if you don't have it all figured out. I mean, none of us really do. Number 7. It's the small joys that really make life worth living. When you look back on your happiest of moments, what did they look like? Hold on to those things, and it's finding happiness in your everyday life that makes life worthwhile. So I say that to say, don't be like how I used to be. Keyword, used to. Don't hold your breath and wait to celebrate big things. Celebrate everything. Celebrate the small things. You showed up for your loved one today. Celebrate that. You got to the gym. Even though you didn't want to, you got yourself into the gym. Celebrate that. You learned something new, or you decided to be brave and try something new. Celebrate it. You met someone who makes your heart smile, and even if you're uncertain how long they may be in your life, celebrate that. Your life is rich with so many good things. Try to focus on those things more than you focus on the bad. It really will change your perspective and your outlook on everyday life. Also, just understanding with life, there is always going to be some form of struggle, some form of bad. To me, I like to think of balance, right? Like, too much of one thing isn't good. Too much of good isn't good, because I feel like you get complacent, you start to take things for granted when things are always good. And this is not to say that we should just be happy, so to speak, when something bad happens, but one thing that always has helped me, and I adopted this mindset in college, with every storm comes a rainbow. So whenever something seemed to be going really bad, or I was super stressed out, overwhelmed, hurt, sad, depressed, whatever, my silver lining was always that things are bad now, but I know that with the God that I serve, better things are coming. And the only way to go from rock bottom is up. All right, so those were the 7 lessons that I learned in my 20s. However, I do have a bonus one. And this is one that I feel like has really hit me hard at age 30. It is giving a less comes with age, and it's amazing. The things that I once cared about, like, oh, how will people view me if I do this? Oh, people see me as X. I wonder how they will react to me or treat me if I suddenly show myself in another light. Like, what will people think if I wear this thing? If I'm louder? If I show the full breadth of who I am? All of those things that once came to mind may still come to mind, but they're quickly replaced with I don't care. And it's not an I don't care about people and their feelings. It's not a I'm completely disregarding the impact I may have on others. It's simply accepting and embracing my full self. I feel so free releasing myself from external validation and stepping into who I truly am. I feel like I am fulfilled more and more each day, being pleasing in my own eyes, and more importantly, being pleasing in God's eyes, versus trying to be pleasing in the eyes of those who probably think of me for 2 seconds and then are on to the next thing, or probably don't even think of me at all. Like, I think that's another thing too. A lot of times we feel like, oh my gosh, everybody's watching, everybody cares, and most people probably don't care. Like, if you tripped the other day while you were out in public and you were like uber embarrassed about it, because you're like, oh my gosh, all these people saw me trip, I can guarantee you right now they are not thinking about that. They probably forgot about it already. Stop giving a I am so much happier just being happy with who I am and being pleasing in the eyes of God. And in me having faith, I know that the community that truly appreciates me for who I am will be. And the people who don't want to be around me, don't want to embrace me for who I am, to me it's just a sign that they weren't really meant to be there in the first place. So if you're not already here on the side of living life with no given, I strongly encourage you to join the party, because it's hella happy over here. That was all I had in terms of my lessons that I've learned in my 20s. I'm sure I could do a relationship lessons I've learned, friendship lessons I've learned, workplace lessons I've learned, but this is just the general shebang, and I hope you were able to take something from it. It doesn't really feel like my birthday right now. It's the day before my birthday. It doesn't really feel like my birthday, but regardless, I am so grateful. And something that I would really love for my birthday is for you to check out my site. I have a body care brand. I always have it in the description to shop with me. I have an all-natural body care brand specifically designed for Black women. Anyone can try these products and love it, but this was specifically designed for my beautiful Black women. It's all natural, plant-based, plant-derived body care. This is the hydrating body cream. Super, super, super nourishing for your skin. Leaves you with a nice shine. I also have soaps on the site. I'm currently doing a brand collab with a company called Sister Wicks Candle Co., where we have a candle that pairs with our hydrating body cream. People love the scent of the body cream. Now it's in a candle that you can pair with it, so it gives you the ultimate self-care experience. If you care, and if you don't, that's okay. Check out my site. Purchase one of these. Let me know what you think. Okay, thank you so much for watching. As usual, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.